What's up, guys? MMA Legend, aka Mike, and today I thought it'd be fun to do something different. Today I'm just going to give you a brief Fruity Loops basic beginning tutorial. So when you open Fruity Loops, it's typically going to open the new basic 808 with limiter. So it's going to start you off in your channel rack with a bunch of 808s, instrumentals, and sound bites, as if you were making a trap song in a 130 beats per minute tempo. Which, typically most trap songs are between 130 and 150 BPM. Anyways, so these are your patterns. So let's say I want to do a kick every few steps. And I can click play, and it'll just play. See, it says pat. It'll just play what's in this rack. If I click song, I would have to put this pattern and whatever other patterns I have in here. And that'll play the whole song. If I just do pattern, it's just going to play what's in my channel rack. And to open my channel rack, I'm simply going to go over here, right next to pattern 1, third one down. See on the left it says view channel rack. See that? Click it, disappears. Click it, opens back up. Hit play. You might not be able to hear that because it's a kick. So let's do a clap. So you kind of get the idea. Anyways, and that will just repeat. So when you first install Fruity Loops, you're going to have all this to your access. You don't have to buy any of this, install any of it. This will come with Fruity Loops or the demo or whatever version you buy. This should all come with it. I think I have the producer. I don't know what I have, but it's one of the more pricier ones. Anyways. So these first section of drums is going to be like your hip hop drums, right? Your 707s, your 808s, and you can click each one and get the sound sample before you decide to drag it in and use it. So let's say, okay, that sounds good. If I want to use it, I could simply just drag it, click and hold, left click and hold, drag, and I could add it right there, and then bam, I could do whatever I want with it. Also, if I want to delete these patterns, I just right click. If I want to delete multiple, I hold the right click and I just go down. Bam. So left click, right click. Hold, left click, hold, right click. Or if I want to replace one of these, let's say I don't want the kick, I want this 909 ride. I can move it, bam, and that will be the 909 ride. These drums are going to be more like your kind of your funky, kind of abstract sounds. Neat little noises. You got sound effects and stuff. Instruments. Now what you can do with these is, let's say I want to use the grand piano. Closed grand, let's say. I'm going to drag it. We're not going to mess with this yet. Exit that out. And I'm going to go up here to the piano roll. And again, just like anything else, you can click and see which note you like before you actually put it in. So you can just do something like this. Or if I wanted to make a longer one, just simply drag the end. And if I put it over this line where it says number 2, it's going to drag on and go all the way to number 3. So if you want to do that, you can keep moving your stuff forward, or you could do maybe something like this. So pretty much as long as it stays in between the lines, it'll repeat at the end of this pattern. But if I put it over just a little bit, it'll go all the way to number 4. So it depends on kind of what you're going for. I think I need new headphones, but these ones are starting to sound really shitty. Let me turn my volume up, I'm sorry. Alright, do like 25. That's good. So that's how you use your instruments. And the piano roll is cool because you can put anything through it. So let's say I want to do something else, right? So I'm going to close the piano roll. I'm going to click the clap. I'm just going to click it to where it's highlighted, just like that little box right next to it, just like that. You can see you can get different sound effects like that. You know, your hi-hats. It's really cool for hi-hats. So I can do something like this. You can make it really small. Kind of like that. And then I could do just kind of an example. So the piano roll is really cool and it's really important to learn because that's what's really going to allow you to be super creative with it. Like, let's say I want to find an ambient, right? So I'm going to go to Legacy, Instruments. Oh, and Legacy also has more drums and effects for you. Legacy, Instruments, Pads. Let's say Cloud, or let's say this one. Sounds pretty good, right? Take that. Oops, sorry. Yeah, sometimes it kind of fucks up like that. Oh, that's probably me. Anyways, let's see if we can fix that. So as you can see, you can do different things with your ambient. See, doesn't that sound pretty cool? So what you could do is you could do something like this. Drag it all the way out to fill the whole thing. Doesn't that sound fucking sick? And then you could do kind of something like this. Kind of sounds like Adult Swim, right? And it sounds completely different from this. So I might actually use that. That's pretty cool. But, so that's the great thing about the piano roll, right? And that's usually what I do. I try to find a good little kind of beat with like with one of these ambients or like a piano or something, and then I'll add my kick and my hat. So if you want to close the piano roll, you can either hit the X, or you can just hit the piano roll, or you can hit your playlist, which is going to show you all your patterns and everything. So let's say I want to get a new pattern. I can hit the plus here, and I can name it, let's say, middle. Let's just say that'll be the middle of the song. I spelled middle wrong, but you get the idea. Now, if I want to keep what I have in pattern 1, I can right-click it, go to clone. It's going to always pop up the piano roll. Don't worry, you can just close that again. You can hit the X, or you can hit the piano roll, or you can hit this. And this is going to keep everything I had. And I can add new stuff to this. So if I want this to be like an intro, and then this to have the same stuff and just add to it, I can do that. You know. So let's do, for example, let's add a snare. So we'll do pattern 1, and then we'll do pattern 2. Click song. So there you go. I think I might have actually used that before. So yeah, it's pretty neat, you know, it's pretty neat, and that's just the very basics. So if you want to put something together, let's say you go to pattern 1. So let's actually just go ahead and delete all this. Actually, try making something with that. So since this kind of has like an ambient sound to it, remember we could go up and hit pattern just to hear this pattern, or whatever pattern we have selected. Let's go ahead and use some echoey sounding hats. So that would probably be if we click drums mode audio. There's a million things to choose from. As you can see, I'm just kind of going through. Whoops. Until I find one I like. Legacy, drums. Not going to be there. And remember, you could put these through the piano roll and get them to sound how you want. Ooh, there's a good one. So you could get like 2 hats and do kind of something like. And see, it kind of goes with that ambient, echoey, atmospheric sound. See right there, you already have a decent little track. And I could clone this. Pattern 2. Click my channel rack. Let's say I want to add a snare. So we're going to simply close this just by clicking it. We're going to go to snare. And these are kind of all the same, downstream hats. So we can find a downstream snare and see if any of those sound similar. I don't know if I like any of those. It's not a bad one. Now we can adjust the volume of everything, right? That's your master volume. What I did was I just went up here and clicked View Mixer. Or you can go right here and just kind of tune that. Or you can click right here, Graph Editor. Now I'll kind of give it like a fading sound effect. See how it kind of sounds like it's fading almost? Because if I were just to do it from right here, the channel rack, see, it doesn't really give it that fading sound effect. I guess kind of. But so you can do the individual volume of each thing. And this is going to decide if it's going to be on the left headphone or the right headphone. So we can move to the left. This dial, see where the snare is. Move that to the left. And now it's on the left side. Move to the right. So there's different things you could do to make things sound different. There's so many different things you could do with just the basics. This is very basic shit. It took, 5 minutes, and we already have a decent little beat going here. Maybe something like this. See, that already sounds pretty cool. But yeah, that was the very basics of Fruity Loops. Remember, practice your piano roll. Practice getting used to your channel rack. Remember, just simply click and drag things over if you want to use them. Clone things if you want to keep shit. And yeah, there you go. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something.